This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi. We are starting Maseches Demai, and both the Art Scroll and the Vilna, for the one and only time this Masechta, we're starting at the top of Aleph Hamad Aleph. In synchronization is going to end. So we're starting with the Mishnah. Hakalin Shiva Demai. So the pretty much gives a little bit of introduction. So we should see the introduction. Demai. Where the Demai comes from? What is this? Neshu Suffolk. It's a question. Zeu Tfua. Tfua appears when he calls Shikochim Amel Oretz. This is grain and fruit which is bought from Amel Oretz. Sheidam them money mal Meisers. They're not trusted to take off Meiser. The Chaver Lokech Mehem, a Chaver who obviously is Makbel and Chumas Meisers. Tzorich Lafrish Chumas Meiser Meiser Sheni. He has to take off Chumas Meiser, presuming that the Amoritz did not take off Meiser Rishon. So the Meiser itself you can keep because the lady would have to prove. Well, I should just go on. Let's take off Shus Meiser Meiser Sheni, Imi Mushnas Meiser Sheni. Avu Truma G'dayla Lo Nech Shadu Ameretz Ola, but Truma the original Truma Ameretz are not suspect not to take it off. Fishu Bavon Misa because they don't take it off. It's well, you do take it off. It's also Avon Misa because it's Tevel. But the point is that it's a Zor who eats Truma is Chayv Bisa. So therefore they want to take off Truma. Pishu v'gam en l'shir min Torah, so it's very easy to take off because there's no shir midaraisa. Shechita chas poteres kol kri, one kernel of wheat can exempt the entire pile of grain. V'akom and nisarim bay, but it's careful. Unfortunately, that's not true anymore, but it was back then. The meiser rishon, meiser ani tzorach la'avish min admai. You do have to take off meiser rishon and meiser ani from the mai. But you don't have to. Because Shamotzi Chaver Lev Araya, since somebody wants to extract money from his spend, has to bring evidence. So therefore, the owner of the fruit can say to Levi or Nani, Habani tell him Misos, who want to create the Misos, Have Raya Shane Perislo Musarim Betol. Bring a raya. These fruits are not meiser, and then I'll give them to you. Avo b'chumas meiser lekla meimorhachi. But you can't say that by chumas meiser because ha'ochel tevel shlomer chumanos kuna chay misa. Be tevel without taking of chumas meiser, you have to chay misa. So you have to set aside meiser in order to take of chumas meiser. Be then the coin, and you should give vilka manfish chumas meiser. Therefore, you take of chumas meiser and you give it to the coin. Meiser sheni nami. Kidei shlo lachlo betuma or shlo lachlo chutz Yerushalayim b'opinion. Take a meiser sheni also, and you don't want to eat it betuma or outside Yerushalayim. Below opinion without redeeming it, and you do redeem it. The certain produce which Chachamim will make on the decree that do not apply the takon of the might to them. These are fruits in the Mishnah Fisher in a half care, because we assume they come from half care. The lo chashive, because they're insignificant, and half care is potter from a meiser. So they are exempt from the Demai, and they are Hasichin, Shisin, sorry. Shisin, pretty much says Tini Midborios, figs which go in the desert. Harimin, says when the it says Rimon, it should be Rimin, which is something which I don't understand what the name Moshe is bringing down here. And Uzdarin. Uzdarin is, I believe, it's quinces. Let's take a look at the translation of this Mishnah so we can give exact details here. Yes, it's not going to make us much more enlightened, but here we go. Shisin are unripe figs. Uzdarin is wild jujuba. Ubnos shuach as Azarolus, Uvno Shikma, no, I skip one, right? Shitin is unripe figs, Rimin is wild jujuba, Uzdarin is azuralus. No, shuach is wild white figs, and no shikmo young sycamore figs. Novlos had tomorrow fallen dates, Gufnin fennel, Nitzba capers. Behuda and Yehuda also the og, sumac. Chomich Behuda, also vinegar in Yehuda, and a kuspor coriander. We don't make shitim turim. All the my figs are exempt. Chutz Michel Dufra, except for those from which come a tree that bears fruit twice a year. Tzabos Rabbi Yochanan was actually one of the tzabos. Is you have fruit tree bears twice a year. Is supposed to cut it down. And what he does with the sorts of cutting down fruit trees, that's just, not for us to discuss. But we see that there is this fruit tree can give fruit twice a year. Rimim pturim or wild jujuba are exempt. Chutz shikmona, except for the wild jujuba of shikmona. Komna shmikma pturos, all young sycamore figs are exempt. Chutz minha mustafos, except for those that have been scarified, which is a fascinating word. Rather, the Bnei Moshe explains, they cracked when they were already in the tree after they were ripened. All the exceptions are significant. They're not likely to come from Hefker. We don't pass on Abiuda. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, like we just explained, these things normally come from the Hefker. Most of them come from the Hefker. Of course, there are a few which are cultivated, but you go after the rove. That's going to say you don't have to count them as fruits from which you don't have to take the mai. That's only the mai you don't have to take off, right? And if they're definitely tevel, you can't assume that they're Hefker, and you have to take off the trumas and maisus. Rabbi Yochanan lo shanya, no, that makes a difference. Ben Demai, ben Vadai Pturim. If it's a Mai, you're not sure Mai's taking off. Vadai, you also don't have to take off because it's Hefker. Hefker's part of Mina Maisus. So the Gillian Ashas, a very long Gillian Ashas, but I just want to see the first line here. But the Mai ben Vadai Pturim came Pasak Rabbeinu Pegum Aleph. V'hainu, meaning the came which are Mina Hefker, since we assume they come from Hefker. I feel Marlo Amar Shenim Musarim. Even Amar said that definitely not Meiser. Potter, you're exempt. Unless you find out, no, that was actually not Hefker. It was actually cultivated by someone. Okay, v'kamas Rabbi Yochanan lo shel mai avavadei chayovin. So the Radah says on this could be seen hockey bruises. The kash Rabbi Yochanan halo masnisin lo shanu. Can't read what I have here. So I don't know. Well, I can't read the next word. V'lo tani masisin ela demai. Machi lo tani ela kalin shebedemai. Avavade avakan chayovin. Okay, well the question is easy enough. It says kalin shebedemai in the Mishnah. It sounds like the kalin is supposed to be in the demai, but kalin and vade would be exempt. If you're going to hold the Shita Rabbi Yochanan that Kalim Vade of Kurim Afker, let's say that the Kalim are definitely Afker. My time of the Peros in the Chashun Kalim Be'enov. Why? Because the Peros are not significant and they are worthless in his eyes. Kain Afim Yodeh Bevade Shaperos Enu Musarim. So if you don't even know the Peros are not Musar, for sure, we come to him, we call Hefker. The part of Hefker came Lama. It's not an issue in the Mai. At least I feel Vadai. So what's the answer? So my Rabbi Law Lefisha B'chol Makom Umakom Lo Chashiv Ela Demai. So the Chiddush says Mashani Rabbi Law Lefisha B'chol Makom Lo Chashiv Ela Demai. He says V'achol Asin Ela Vadai. That's the next line of the Gemara. Perish B'chol Makom Lo Tani Ela Demai. Tani Nan Masisa Kalan Shib Demai. In other words, basically, since we're in Sechus Demai, And we're learning about Demai. So this it says about Demai, but really, it's Hagav Grora, and it could have said Vadai as well. So the Mashbiach has a slightly different approach to the Gemara here. The Mashbiach says, Amrai b'lefish koma 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 l'chashi with my v'achal asina Vadai. Klamar, v'achal asina Vadai? Bitmiya, b'vadai gam achamari b'dmai. So he says, no. He says that actually, we're only talking about the Mai here. So he's saying no. This Mishnah Taka is not talking about Vade, only the Mai. And it's Vade is Chayev. So in that case, it'll be arguing Rabbi Yochanan. That's if we need. So where's Rabbi Yochanan have a source? Even if you don't hold, if you hold it's an answer, not like the Radah, and not a statement of astonishment like the Mashbiach. If its next line works out regardless. Masisim Sai Rabbi Yochanan. We do have a Mishnah which agrees with Rabbi Yochanan, which is that Miksiv U'alam Pater Min Admai. From Ksiv and beyond, you're Pater Min Admai. So the Gemara asks, B'shan Yahim Miksiv U'alam Ben Dmai Ben Vadai. It's Chutz La'aretz. After Ksiv, it's Chutz La'aretz. So the Gemara getting right. Ksiv is Chutz La'aretz. So therefore, anything after that is Pater. It's Pater altogether, not just from the Mai. So I'd say Pater Min Admai. So it's a raya where it says no, it's Lav Dafka. It also infers Vadai. Again, Shani Mi Ksiv Halam Ben Mai Ben Vadai. Avachal Lo Shani Ben Mai Ben Vadai. Okay, so the fact is this Mai is Agav Grora. Because we're in Mesechus Demai, but could have said Vada as well. Says the Gemara, Masnisa Pliga Reish Lakish. We have Mishnah Shara Reish Lakish. It says, Ima yu nishmorin chayovin. If they are nishmorin, they're chayiv. In other words, if at some point they are safeguarded, you're chayiv. So ask her, Ikon Lomina Hefker, Ikon Lomina Hefker Boyin. So the Radah explains, Peirush Hov Tani, I mean the Shmarim, Masha Mistama Ein Mishamer. So it says Ima in the Shmarim Chayavim. So it sounds like the default is they're not Nishmarim. Vafkurim Afkalu. The Vikar Lo Min Hefker Boyim Bitmiya, Chia Ikar Lo Ba Min Hefker, the Mistam Vadim Afkalu. Im Lo Shio Yadua Da Ayu Nishmarim. So we see the default assumption is that they're Hefker. If it's definitely Hefker, so therefore it should be a potter from Vadai as well. Vadai shall see potter. Pasala, so Gemara answers, Achar Rov Nishmarim. If they're Nishmarim means if the majority are Nishmar. Some are Taka Hefker, but the majority are Nishmar, so therefore you have to take off by Vadai. So let's see them say Radah again. Perish Mistama. Yesh Lamashu Hefker. We assume that it's Hefker. V'yesh no. Perish Mistama Yesh Lamar Shu Min Hefker. V'yesh Lamar Shu Min Mishumar. It's a go either way. The Miktasim Mishamrim. So that's not Nashim Afkirin. Some people do are a Mishamer. Some people are Mafker. Ach Ima Rov Nishmarim. If the majority are Nishmar. Also chayiv. It's chayiv in Demai. Okay, fine, but that doesn't. It's not. Actually, it's not fine. Then the Gemara asks, again, but let's go say inside. Masisa pliga reish lakish. Iman nishmar chayavin. You can't learn in a hefker boyim, so that means that though they primarily come from hefker, they have a valid shiri potter. So pasala. So he says, Acharov Nishmarim. So, no, most of Nishmar. So therefore, you have to assume it's Nishmar. So therefore, you have to if it's Demai, they're Mako. But if it's Vadai, then you have to take off Chumas and Maisus. Or Maisus. So it says Gemara, Asr Chamei. Come see. Let's reason this out. Ima Ro Mishamrim, if most people watch it, Dibra Kochavim, Bain Demai, Bain Vadai. Then, if most people are Mishamrit, so there shouldn't be any difference between Demai and Vadai. You should be Chayav in the mind, not just in Vadai, but even in the Mai, because the Takana the Rabbanon should apply to most of the fruits, and it says Zilbasar Ruba, called the Parshan Ruba. Parshan should apply to any fruit which you pick up. And conversely, Me'ero Mishami, Divya Kol Pturim, Bein Medmai, Bein Mavare. She put them both. Mechza, Mechza, Leis Yochid. Can't say it's half-half. The thing of Mechza, Demai. The Mechza is Demai, and you do have to take off, even by Mechza, you have to take off Demai. So, the right? So that's the case. What he's saying is that if you want to learn, the way the Radol learns, it's a little bit more complicated. He says you want to learn that it's mechza, so you don't have to come on to Kalin Shabbat Mai. There's a special Ptur because of mechza, which applies to the Mai. So, and will be chayv in Vadai. So, the Mishbeach says that Hadet Ninon, that which says Ninon Kai Kolanem Marpo. So everything we go. And Ima Shami Imrov, Yodinan min mechza, Vim Eino Mishamim, Ganki Yodin min Hadet the Tina mechza. Benkach Yodim min mechza al mechza. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. We call them behind him Mishamim him rov Yadina min mechza I guess we would, if you told us halacha by mechza, we know the halacha also by rov and mute. I don't know. Let's see if Shankar says anything here. No. Okay, so I would learn the first way. For now, it's the simplest way, the way we explain it. Mechza, Leis Yochid. Can't say that's the case. And Dina, mechza, Demai. I have to take off Demai. Rabbi Zera said, so here, we're actually going to have to change the girsa, the Groz girsa over here. But we're already way into Daf Beis Amud Aleph. Okay, let's go. Let's do the next line anyway. So the girsa sagra is Rabbi Zera lo kan shebenai Demai ela Demai atzmo. In other words, that I can't read. I wrote there. So let me see the shine there. So says that. You must be getting old. My glass don't work so well anymore. And thinking of sometimes not netza. So I'm going to say lo so the kam shemai ela filu d'mai atzmo. So the gross girsa is lo kam shemai ela d'mai atzmo. And he says, so what does he take out? He takes out the let's take out several words. So what he's trying to say is that Rizira is explaining the Mishnah in Machshirin is not talking about Kalin Shebedmai, but about fruit which are Stam Chai Bedmai, any fruit, and therefore Mechza Demai. That's why half is Demai in that case. But Kalin Shebedmai and Mechza is a machlokas of Yochanan and Shimon Lakish. Could Rabbi Yochanan even the Vada is potter, and Shimon Lakish it's chayav. So we're saying is that even though it says mechza demai, that doesn't mean anything for us because that mechza demai is what about chamurin shebed demai, right? And there we say mechza is chayav demai, but by kalon shebed demai that's a machlokas. Rabbi Yochanan and Lakish. Rabbi Lakish holds by kalon shebed demai, even though we exempt it from demai. By mechza, we don't exempt from vade. And by mechza, and Rabbi Yochanan holds, no. By mechza also, we exempt from rov It doesn't rove. We can't say that rove are not Meiser, and so therefore we say he's part of from the Mai as well. So we set it up the Machlekes, Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish at this point as being a question specifically by Mechza Mechza. Rabbi Yochanan holds by Mechza Mechza, you're potter for both Mai and Vadai. Reish Lakish holds Mechza Mechza, you're potter and the Mai, but Chayev in Vadai.